Daisy had been a housewife for 20 years. When her husband decided to send her to a mental hospital, she couldn't accept it, so she secretly escaped through the bathroom window. By the time her husband realized, she had vanished without a trace. People thought she had truly gone crazy. Daisy was once a brilliant architect, hailed as the brightest new star in the industry. However, at the height of her career, she chose to get married and have children, gradually fading from the public eye to become a housewife. Due to her husband's job, they moved into a dilapidated mansion in Seattle. The place had leaks everywhere and peeling walls. Hard to imagine it was the home of a once genius architect. And so, 20 years passed. Fortunately, their daughter Amy was intelligent and cheerful. She even got into her dream school with excellent grades. Before leaving for boarding school, Amy suggested a family trip to Antarctica. Although both parents were reluctant to go so far, they agreed to not disappoint their daughter. But ever since making this decision, Daisy had become restless and anxious. In fact, this condition had persisted for a long time, but she never took it to heart. Daisy handed over her daily trivial matters to her AI assistant Manjula, who became her confidant. As the family discussed plans for the Antarctica trip, Daisy couldn't sleep at night. She spent hours online, discovering the journey to Antarctica was not smooth sailing. She feared the crowds during travel, seasickness, and all the unknowns that lay ahead. These emotions drained her energy, leaving her exhausted. Not wanting to disappoint her daughter, she had her virtual assistant shop online for necessary supplies. However, seasickness medication was special and had to be picked up in person at the pharmacy. That afternoon, when Daisy went to the pharmacy, her husband passed by after work. Reminded by the assistant, he was shocked to see Daisy fast asleep on the couch. His wife's undignified sleeping posture made him feel embarrassed. He immediately went in to wake her up, realizing his wife's mental state seemed problematic. That day, a party was being held at the neighbor Audrey's house. Unfortunately, due to heavy rain, the soil slope at Daisy's house collapsed. The mudslide broke through the fence and rushed straight into Audrey's home, leaving it in a mess. Meanwhile, Daisy had just picked up her daughter from school when Audrey stopped her. Faced with Audrey's accusations, Daisy didn't want to dwell on it too much and simply stated she would compensate for the damages. But the neighbor still wouldn't let it go. He had had enough of Daisy's unsociable nature. Daisy had no choice but to get out of the car and argue. It turns out the neighbor had found the vines on the hillside unsightly, so he forcibly removed them. But those plants were meant to stabilize the slope in the first place. The neighbor was left speechless, but he grew angrier the more he thought about it.
Did you know a bunch of moms?
Fuck you for bringing B into this!
Her daughter was her last line, and she would not allow anyone to hurt her. At this point, Amy also stood up.
And you don't know my mom.
Oh, I do know your mom. I know her now. Everybody does.
You don't even know your own son, Audrey. If you did, you'd know how he makes fun of you at school. I agree with my mom. Fuck you, Audrey.